Hey everybody, how's it going this evening? My name is Rob. We're going to be talking about a few things today. First of all, the leftover severe weather we've had. We did have a marginal risk for portions of the Gulf Coast states, parts of Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. That has now been weakened due to this leftover low that's going to be moving on to parts of Florida. And there's actually some concerns from what I've seen on social media of a low pressure or invest forming, and that's not really the case. And let me show you what they're seeing. So, what people are seeing that we might have a hurricane or a low pressure per se, this plume of infrared satellite clouds and convectivity, but that's not going to be anything we need to worry about, and I'll tell you why. The waters in the Tampa Bay itself aren't as hot as they usually are, let's say in April, May, and June. So that's going to really die down some of the convective activity in our area. We're probably just going to get some rain, some cloudiness, nothing really to worry about there. Maybe a sprinkle or two of some scattered showers, but nothing really to worry about. So, Floridians, don't panic. This is nothing to worry about. It's just going to be some cloudiness and some rain and maybe some thunder, lightning here or there, especially in parts of the central Florida panhandle and parts of the central peninsula. So, nothing to worry about there. We're also going to talk about some of the weather we have going on. As you can see, very much of a lull of activity for most of the United States. I mean, we have one area that has a high wind advisory or maybe a wind watch. But up here we have, I believe that's going through winter storm warnings and maybe some frost advisories as well. So very clear right now for the United States hazard wise. But there is one thing we're going to talk about as well, which is going to be the heat that is coming for parts of the United States, the warm up that we're getting, or a positive P&O, as many people would say. So let's take a look at that really fast. But first, I want to talk about a big story that's been coming up of a heat wave in parts of the western United States, especially in parts of Los Angeles and California. There may be some heat advisories for those areas, so make sure if you're living in these areas, be advised it may be really warm, 80s, maybe 90s by mid on Monday in the Ventura and LA valleys. So make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you're not overexerting yourself being outdoors. So make sure you follow all these precautions because we have a very warm P&O for that part of the country. And we can look at this further. It is cool right now, but as you can see in the next, the end of the month into April, we will have this warmer area that we've been really talking about the last couple of days. We have this warmer Southeast United States, Central Plains, parts of the Mid-Atlantic, just really, really warm temperatures. Now, for parts of the West, we have cooler than average temperatures for parts of California into Oregon, parts of the Rockies, and parts of the upper Midwest and New England. So these areas can be much cooler than average in the next 6 to 10 days. And as we get into April, we can really see that warmth really go more north. And we should see that relief for southwestern United States, parts of LA, California. But look at that warmth go all the way up to the North Plains. And that's where that cool weather up here kind of goes back to a positive P&A or just more of a warmer part. So, and then we also have parts of New England, parts of Maine in a cooler than average. So, kind of a flip-floppy type of weather setup. We had cooler weather mostly in March, but as we get into April, middle of spring, it's going to get warmer from what this is saying. So, make sure you stay hydrated, especially in those dark red areas. That's your much above normal, 20, 30 degrees above average temperatures. So make sure you're looking at that. We also have a marginal risk for portions of the Pacific Northwest, parts of Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. I believe this is for Wednesday. So might have some hail, maybe has some wind from this severe weather setup we're going to see on Wednesday. But that's not all, folks. We have severe weather possible for this weekend. That's right. Parts of the Central Plains, parts of Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, most of Missouri, southern Iowa, west Illinois, and parts of Arkansas. Possibly some severe weather from the next trough coming in by the 29th. This is going to be on Friday, I believe. Maybe Saturday. I have to double check, but that is the 29th. So let's look at the 30th. And you have a much larger, broader area of severe weather, all the way from Texas all the way up to Michigan. So going to be really interesting to see if this verifies. We'll keep you guys updated on all that throughout the week. Hope you guys stay safe with the warm-up coming up and with the heat for California. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. My name is Rob, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.